Hello there, crafty friends. It's Tanya here today, sharing with you one of my easel cards. Now, I made this one for a very special friend whose birthday's coming up, and I hope she likes it, and I'm going to show you how I made this. So to start our card, we're going to need a 6 by 12 inch piece of Whisper White cardstock. We are going to need a 6 by 6 inch piece of silver foil cardstock and a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 of the Whisper White. And finally, we're going to need a piece of 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 of Old Olive. So this is the piece that we'll use, the 5 3/4 square Whisper White, and we're going to create our background. So to make our background, we're going to start by just putting a little bit of snail on the back of our piece and place it down on your work surface. Then I'm going to take a piece of copy paper and I'm going to just tear it to create your hill shape. And we're going to use both sides of this. Now the first piece we're going to use for our sky, and just fasten that down using some washi or painter's tape. Okay, now I'm using my Soft Sky ink pad and just a little quarter of sponge. Now, starting off the cardstock, I'm slowly going to bring the colour in. Now, when you have that you're happy with, just take away the bottom piece and grab your top piece of the copy paper and place it down. So now I've got my Old Olive ink pad and another piece of sponge, and repeat this process. We're going to take the Sheltering Tree stamp set, and I'm just going to use this little bit of grass stamp here and place a few stamps around your scene. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our 6 by 6 inch sheet of silver foil cardstock, and we've still got that little bit of snail there on the back, and we're going to use that to layer onto our silver foil cardstock. Now, taking our largest scallop oval from the Layering Ovals framelits, I'm going to roughly place that oval into the center. Once I'm happy with it, I'm going to use a little bit of washi just to make sure it doesn't move. And then I'm just going to run that through my Big Shot. So once I've run that through, I take the washi off and I've cut through both pieces. So putting the silver aside for a moment, I'm going to take the largest oval. Now that is slightly larger than the scallop. So I'm going to place that over the top of our sponged piece. And I'm going to run that through. And that will remove a very small amount, but it'll leave us with a nice clean oval shape. And I'm going to stick these two pieces together with some fast fuse. So take your time in layering this up. And this is what you'll have when it's put together. So just pop. Okay, to stamp our images, I have got a sheet of Whisper White and I've got it on my Stampin' Pierce mat. Whenever I'm stamping photopolymer, I use a cushioning area because there's no cushioning in the stamp. Now I'm going to use the Soft Sky and stamp in some highlights. Now I'm using Sahara sand for one of the baskets. As well as the inside of the little puppy dog. And then soft suede for the other basket. And finally, some real red for our little doggy's bandana. Okay, so I'm just going to run that through and cut them all out. The next step is to take our old olive piece and I'm going to stamp a sentiment. I'm going to take this happy birthday sentiment down here from the Super Duper stamp set. There we go. Now we can put our card together. And what we're going to do is with our 6 by 12 inch piece, we're going to score it down the middle at 6 inches and then again at 9 inches. And just fold on each of those score lines. So now I'm going to take our sponged panel and I'm just going to line it up with the bottom and just use a pencil to lightly mark where your piece sits. So then you're going to take that scalloped die that you used earlier and your big shot, and we're going to place this into the big shot. Just line up that die and run it through. Whenever I do 2 layers of cardstock, I push it through 2 times. So 1 and 2. So just take that piece away and this is what we have. So now grab your fast fuse . And you're going to take your panel and just line your panel up with that bottom edge and stick it down. Now I'm going to put my old olive panel in, and this is 1/4 inch smaller, so that'll sit inside there. Now we're going to grab our stamped and die cut images. So I've got my bicycle, I have my little doggy in the basket, and I have some apples in a basket. And I have a few extra apples that I stamped and die cut, and then I've just fussy cut around that die cut image to break apart the apples. So let's pop this one on. So using some of the dimensionals, and put the bicycle on first. And just roughly center that. Just make sure that the dimensionals are hidden between the cardstock. Now I'm going to pop my little doggy on. So I'm going to, because we've got a space behind here, I'm going to fasten my doggy's basket onto the bottom of the bike. But I want the back section up a little higher, so I have placed 2 dimensionals, one on top of the other. There you go. And just a couple more for the front basket. Same thing actually, I'm just going to stack one on top of the other. couple of apples down there, and for these ones that I've die cut, I'm actually going to pop them on a dimensional, and then these ones are over in this corner. Now for my banner up the top, I'm going to use the birthday banners stamp set. So I'm going to take the stitched banner as well as the happy birthday greeting. So bring back my Stampin' Pierce mat. I've used Dapper Denim to stamp my banner. So I've stamped my banner, and now I want to put my happy birthday greeting inside the banner. But you'll find that the stamp is flat. So what I do, I lay down my block over the top, and I'm just going to curve it and then see how that sits. The great thing with the photopolymer, you can bend them, curve them, cut them, and they stamp beautifully. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one out with the banners die cut. So I'm going to cut this one out using the Bunch of Banners framelits, and it's this one down here. And there's our banner. And I'll use the dimensionals to hold the sequin trim in place. Like so, and place that roughly over the center. So what we need now is we need a raised element here to stop the card from falling flat. Now traditionally I have placed my stamped sentiment on a dimensional, and I've used that as my stopper. But today I'm going to use these clear faceted gems, and I'll pop a large one in the center and a smaller one on either side. So now when I place my card up, it will hold in place. All that's left now is to place a couple of flowers or flourishes on either side here. And place that one there, and this one on the left side. So there it is, guys. There's my easel card using the bike ride bundle. I hope you like it and you give it a try. Until next time, stay crafty. Bye.